Welcome to Bizcoot Bites, another episode of insights and different perspectives. Today, we are going to introduce a topic called we use only 10% of our brain. There are many self-help books around this. There are many movies which support the view that we are using only 10% of our brain. In actuality, this is a myth, and we are going to expose the science behind this myth. That is what we are going to do today. This 10% brain power is a myth. Then why are people having this? There are many reasons for that. First of all, every individual wants to feel that, yeah, there is a lot to be explored about myself. This prompts them to believe that only 10% of their brain is used. And there are marketers who love this. They develop a lot of ads around this myth so that they can attract their customers or they can appeal to their market. Even airlines and even education institutions have used this myth in their favor. And a research study has shown that 60% of the college students believe that only 10% of their brain is used. And surprisingly, some of the neuroscientists, very small percentage, not big, very small percentage of neuroscientists also believe that only 10% of their brain is used. But this is a myth. 100% of our brain is used when we are active in our day-to-day life. And we will explain that today in this session. I'll give you a few facts about brain. Our brain is only 2 to 3% of our body weight, but it consumes 20% of the oxygen that we breathe. It consumes 20% of the energy that we absorb into our body. So do you think that evolutionarily such a thing, a brain, there is economics behind brain? Evolution is a very intelligent process. It is consuming that much energy because our brain is active throughout. Even in sleep, our brain is active. If you want to experience dreams when you are sleeping, it consumes energy and it is very active. So science says that it is not so. Your brain is active throughout as long as you live. I'll give some more evidence from the reports from the neuroscientists. People who had serious brain injuries, they were not able to function normally. For example, people who had brain damage to the left side of their brain had difficulty in speaking or comprehending language, which clearly shows that their language area is somewhat affected by the injuries. Sometimes, due to accidents, some part of the brain is lost. They also find it difficult. So, our brain is working totally when we are interacting with the world daily. Or even if we are asleep, even in sleep, our brain is active. Which is being reported in the journals and other scientific magazines. During the neurosurgery, the surgeons give electrical stimulation to some parts of the brain. Then, after the operation, after the surgery, the patient has reported that he had some feelings related to that part of the brain, which indicates that even if we are under the influence of anesthesia, sometimes our brain is active. This is what it shows. Second, new generation equipments, medical diagnostic equipments have come, like MRI, PET, etc. It also indicates that the pictures that we get from PET and MRI shows that our brain is completely active, depending on the context and the activity, brain activities that happening. They can map the activities that is happening in the brain, which shows that total brain is active in most of the normal people. Only on abnormal cases that is not active. So we have several evidences to show that brain is functioning as a single unit without any inhibitions. The whole brain is working. Now we will see from where did this myth came. First of all, it came from a psychologist, US psychologist named William James. He said that a person is not fully intellectually utilizing his potential. That is what he said. He meant about the capability, not about the brain. But unfortunately, the general public had interpreted is as the brain. He meant that even though we are having such a powerful tool with us called brain, we are not utilizing it full to its full potential. That is what he meant. It is not that brain is only 10% used. It is that we are not utilizing the potential of the brain. That is true. That is even true now. So it is not about the capacity or the utilization of the brain power. It is that we are not utilizing the tool. That is it. There is another source for this myth. There is a book written by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. In that book, the preface was contributed by a author called Lowell Thomas. He is the first person who brought this myth into that. He said, we are utilizing only 10% brain. From there, this myth spread. There is another source, very famous. Many people say that Albert Einstein used most of his brain and we are not using. And Albert Einstein was conscious of that, and he has mentioned that I am using most of your brain. Why not you? But if you look at the scientific records, it is evident that nowhere Albert Einstein have mentioned anything about brain power, or he has not made any such statements. If you look at the history, there are historical records available in universities and museums. Even his notebook is available. Nowhere he has mentioned such a statement. Still, this myth is circulating among common people. So it is important that you remove this myth that you are using only 10% of the brain. Instead, you have to use your brain to the maximum, challenge your brain to the maximum, and develop skills and competencies through practice and consistency. Now, the surprising thing is that even though scientific world has exposed that this is a myth, why is it surviving? Because that only 10% of your brain is used is a comforting statement to the most of the people, thinking that, oh, still 90% we have power, extraordinary power with us, which one day we will use it. It gives hope. Purely on the basis of hope, people are still holding on to it. Second, there are many self-help gurus around who propagate that only 10% of your brain is used and I can help you to how to access the balance 90%. That is the another reason this is happening. Otherwise, this is 10% brain is a myth. It is scientifically not proven anywhere. And most of the information that is coming is contrary to this belief. The amazing thing about brain is that by effort and persistence, you can learn any skill and any competency. There is a branch of neuroscience called neuroplasticity, which indicates that brain has the capability to develop new connections among neurons and also to increase our performance by practice and effort. This shows that every ordinary person can do extraordinarily is the good news that is coming from the scientific world. Hence, utilize the brain to the maximum by taking up new situations, new challenging situations, and applying your innovative skills. So, we are already using 100% of your brain. Congratulate yourself. Try to learn new skills every day. Be active in your life and seek challenges. By this, you will be able to train your brain to the extent that you can do extraordinary things. Thank you.